Hello, this is your teacher Todd Booth, and I'm going to talk you through the Frontier system. And that ought to get you started for the first day of class, at least the first week as well. So what you do is you go ahead and surf over to frontier.com/LTU. Now the LTU needs to be in lowercase here. This can be uppercase or lowercase, that doesn't matter. So go ahead and surf there and log in as a guest account. I mean, you can try your own account if you want, but if you have any trouble, you can use a student guest account, which is student@ltu.se. Password is student. So go ahead and do that. And this video is made on Friday the 29th of August, so it's an update. I've made some changes to Frontier. So if you log in and you do Control F A7005E, you can see it finds client security. You just click on that. That takes you into the Frontier room, and what you need to know is this information here. That's what you're going to see when you first come in there. That's like the official LTU information. I don't like it, but I have to leave it. So what I've done is recreated the information in different ways. So my recommendation is as soon as you hit the room, do this. It says click on home, start here, home, start here. Here you go. Boom. Then you're into my information. And my information, I give you a big welcome. I talk about student support page. I talk about email support to me. And right off the bat, I've got 3 videos for you. There's the introduction to this course, the introduction to myself, and then the video you're watching right now. So if you lose the email that you have with the URL to it, you can always log into Frontier and you can see the video again if you want. So that's the main page. Now, just so you know, I renamed these so they're using the same terminology as the new Canvas LMS, which we're going to be using in a couple weeks, I think. So the terminology is a little bit different than you'll see in other LTU classes. We've got the announcements. That's where we're going to have news. There's no news yet. Then discussions. Those are like forums. So let's click, and you can see I've got some course book forums. So if you click on the course book, we've got a forum for each of the chapters that we'll be reading in this course. Then you can go back to discussions, the main, or you can click here. It takes you to discussions, and there's a forum to find a study partner. You can say, hey, I'm looking for a study partner, and then someone will answer and go, okay, I'll link up with you. And then I also have there's a security support forum. It's not exactly related to this class, but if you have general security questions, this is a great forum to use to get your answers. Moving on down, we got news, discussions, people. So if you click on that, I'll click on it. You can see some of the students. We only have 20 people in the group right now. We're going to have like about 90 real soon, but they won't be added for a few days. And there you can see the other students, their phone number, email, so you can link up. Let's move on to syllabus. Okay, for syllabus, at the bottom it says URL to course description syllabus. So if you click that, it takes you to the LTU website syllabus, and bingo, it's like right there. And you should read it as well. So I'm going to get rid of that box. That's one thing. And here is our schedule, our time schedule. Let's click on that. So that's the whole schedule, and you can see week 36, week 37. Now, and I'll talk about what these different things are, because we have some which are where I'm going to be talking like a lecture, and then there's some where we're just going, here we go, sending from Lulio, sending from Shaleftio. I'm going to give 2 week, and then the others are for students just to meet with one another. But that's a schedule, and just so you know, if you get rid of the schedule here, I've got the iCal file. So if you download that, and you can pop it into your Outlook or pop it into Google Calendar, and it'll automatically put all the events in your calendar for you. This takes you to a web page. I'm sorry about that. The entire schedule, web page like this, but maybe you want a PDF of it. I went ahead and made a PDF for you. So if you click here, it's going to be a PDF file of the same information. So that is the syllabus information. Moving on down to modules. The idea is I'm going to have one module per week. The last week will be the final. I'm not sure exactly what date it is yet, but we're going to have 8 weeks of class, and in each week you just click on the week and we'll have a whole bunch of information for you. That's what I'm going to call instructions, and then we have a hand-in folder to turn in your work. So the idea is you go to week 1, you click, you get the instructions, you follow through, you do all the stuff. Then you can click back here on week 1, click on hand in, and you can go ahead and upload your homework. But I haven't enabled that yet because I need to give you some more detailed information, which I'll give to you on the first day of class where I do a presentation, which is on Tuesday. But that's the idea. So you can go back to week 1, read the information, hand in, and then you can move down here and click on week 2, etc. And I'm going to be, by the Friday of the previous week, I'm going to have detailed information on what we're going to do. The reason I don't want to do it the second on all of these is I'm sure I'm going to make some changes, and then I'll have to duplicate the changes several times. So I'm going to wait a few days, and then I'll be making like probably 2 weeks in advance. So that's modules. I'll point out for the week 9, for the final exam, you need to register early, and I'll give you that information later in the course. Then I have something called pages, which are like documents, and these are documents of information. Let's click on pages. We have LTU resources, and if you click on that, you can get information about how to contact student support. You just click, and it's going to pop up with another window, and with the student reception, you can give them a phone call, but it's better to chat. So I click on chat, then you can chat with them. You've got the FAQ, contact form, all kinds of good info. So that's student support. Then here we have a URL for new student general information. It's really good. So if we go to that URL, we've got all kinds of newcomer new information. So these answer so many questions you're going to have if you're new. The student checklist, they have this checklist of things to do. How do you get an account? How do you activate your account? What if you have problems? Etc., etc., etc. Lots of great information because we get thousands of questions, and a lot of them are the same. So they've documented all the solutions. Really good. Now this is something you might not know about. Now that you're a student at LTU, you have access to free Microsoft software. Not everything, but a lot of software. So you click on that URL I created, and they talk about the program, and then you click here, you log in, and then you can see what software is available, and you can download it. For example, in this class you might want to download a copy of Windows. Maybe you want to download like Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 or Windows 7, create a virtual machine, stuff like that. It's all free. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. So we made it down here. The last one, Adobe Connect Pro. Well, most of our sessions are via the internet. How does that work? Well, if you click here, you're going to be taken to the Adobe page, and they tell you all about it. These are what we call distance meetings, Adobe Connect Pro. That's how we do it, via the internet. And then they talk about what it is, how it works. They have a link so you can check your computer and make sure your sound card and your video card and everything else is working perfect. Like also your add-ins, maybe you need Flash. You can click on participate in your first meeting to test it. You can learn about Adobe Connect 8, and we have a resource center if you need help. Maybe something's not working, so you can just go ahead and click on that, and it takes you to the resource center, and they have all kinds of great information. They have like guides, information. They have just a great amount of information. And if you totally can't figure something out, then bring it up in the class and I'll help you out. So that's Adobe Connect Pro. And with that, we went through that URL. And then here is the LTU help desk, and they help you on so many problems. If you have problems with your account, if you have problems with your student ID card, We have wireless networks and computer networks on campus. If you have problems with those, they'll help you out. They can help you out with software licenses. You can have a VPN to access LTU, and they can help you with all those things. And I put the URL here where you just click that and it takes you to them. This is for if you're having problems, like you haven't received a student ID, you can just click there. If your password doesn't work, you click here. They have all kinds of great help for you. Well, that's the pages, and then the presentations. Now, the presentations are a little bit of a duplication because remember if we go to home, I've got a presentation about the course and myself. Well, if you click on presentations and you go into that, I've got the PDF files of the same thing. So you don't really need these presentations, but if you wanted to read through them without the video, I put them there. So that is a quick summary. The one other thing you need to know for Mondays, well, at 1 o'clock, well, first of all, if we go like start here and you're reading through and then you go through all this information, you're going to hit those pages, for example. Remember we said the syllabus is going to have the, if we go up to syllabus, we'll have the schedule. Now here's the problem. You've got this meeting at 1 o'clock, Adobe Connect. What do you do? Well, first of all, the URL is here if you wanted to just copy and paste it. Or actually, if you click it, it pops up. We click here, and it's going to want you to log in. You might not have a user ID yet. So here's what you do. Enter as guest, and you put in your name. And then in parentheses, actually, let's do it this way, comma, and then your student ID, if you know what it is, which is something like that. See, by entering as a guest, you don't have to log in. You don't need your user ID. So in the beginning, until everyone has an account, we're going to log in as a guest. So that's that. Here's the time edit. And that is the end of my lecture about the Frontier LMS and the rearrangement and how it works. Remember, you always want to click on here, start here. Okay, thanks for listening, and bye for now.